YouTube, Super56K here. Welcome to Super56K's Basement Arcade. Tonight I'm going to be playing a game entitled Magical Tetris Challenge featuring Mickey by Capcom. Follow me. Magical Tetris Challenge featuring Mickey. Go ahead and start a one-player game here. There's two modes here you can select from: Magical Tetris, which is your traditional top-down, pieces falling from the sky mode, and then up-down Tetris, which is pretty much some of the same, but pieces also appear from the bottom. It can be quite difficult at times. Go ahead and pick Magical. We're going to pick a one-player game. You got 4 different characters to choose from here: Mickey, Donald, Goofy, and Minnie. Suppose we'll go ahead and go with everyone's favorite Mickey. There's 3 different difficulty modes: Practice, which is just a few levels with a tutorial; Normal, which is your normal game; and of course Expert, which is hard mode. We'll go ahead and pick Normal. Now, this game was only released in Japan in the arcades as a conversion kit for installation in pre-existing cabinets, such as the ever-so-popular candy cabs in Japan, which are metal sit-down cabinets that had interchangeable boards and a place for a marquee and an instruction set to be installed. This game, of course, being from Japan, the storyline is all in Japanese. Doesn't attract much from the gameplay for an English-speaking person, but nonetheless, I'm sure you can gather here from the story just by watching that Pete has done a terrible thing and Mickey is on his way to right his wrongs. First level here, your opponent is Minnie, supposedly baking cookies at her house. We'll go ahead and hit start here. Storyline doesn't mean too much to us. The controls for Tetris are pretty much the same as any Tetris game you would expect. Left and right, move your falling pieces left and right. Up drops them straight down, which is what I'm doing now. And down allows you to pull them down, which is like this. Of course, dropping them straight down gives you more points, but you have to be sure that they're where you want them. The shadow that you see shows me where the pieces are going to be placed ahead of time. I have the option to turn that off by hitting the start button. Some people may find that easier or want more of a challenge. On the left here, you see something called the magic bar, and as you play, that magic bar fills up. Once it's completely full, you're able to use your magic, and any line at the top of the bar over will delete any pieces above that line. Now, sometimes that can work to your advantage if you're really in a mess and need the pieces cleared out of your way. Sometimes it can work to your disadvantage. You might be in the middle of building a great combo like a Tetris, or something else that's new to this game, a Pentris, which is an extra line higher than Tetris, and it'll clear them out of your way, and that ruins your combination there. You start out on level 1, and up there in the center you see is your level timer. As time passes, the level advances. As the level increases, so does the speed of the falling pieces. At the beginning it's not too bad. The computer players aren't too difficult. I'm sure as you can watch me playing here that I'm not a master at Tetris by any means, but as you advance along, the characters become more and more difficult to verse. As I mentioned, this game came out as a conversion kit. It never had a dedicated cabinet. Right now I'm playing it in my Soul Calibur JAMA cabinet. I'd like to one day find a candy cab, which is the cabinet I was describing earlier. Yep, there goes the Magical Tetris just now. Anyway, a candy cab to put this game in, so to be just like a traditional Japanese game. I really do enjoy this game and would love to have it in a dedicated cabinet. There's a Tetris, clearing a complete line. One thing you might also notice is over there on my opponent Minnie's side, the better you do, the more pieces it sends your opponent. Also, the larger, more difficult pieces. Earlier you saw a giant red block drop on my side. That was from a combo she had performed earlier. Of course, the larger the pieces, the harder they are to place. Sometimes you've got a neat little spot to put them, other times you don't, and it costs you your turn, so to speak. There we go, I just beat her. Score, max combo, total score. Storyline continues. Oh, there's Pete. Basically, I'll save y'all the Japanese. He hypnotizes me and steals her away, so Mickey's got to go off to find his answers. First person he goes to is Goofy. Now, the storyline pretty much indicates that you're helping Goofy on his farm. Each character that you play as and that you verse has their own story along the way, their own level, their own theme. And also, one thing you might also notice is that the characters dress in whatever garb is appropriate for that level. Right now, they're both wearing farm-appropriate clothing. Place some of the pieces down here. Now, one thing that's difficult in Tetris, a lot of you may already know this, but any holes that you get in your lines from misplacing a piece or from one that's ill-placed, you might see down below, over here, or here in this piece I just dropped, you have to clear that line to get to that piece in order to be able to dig yourself deeper. Once there's a hole, that whole line is not clearable until you're able to come back and fill that hole. Sometimes it works out for the better. It's the best place you can place the piece without making too awkward of a situation. But you can always come back and drill down and get rid of it later. Magical Tetris also makes use of lots of different pieces that are new to the Tetris franchise. You notice that T-shaped piece that I just placed, as well as the larger blocks I was talking about earlier. Some of the other unique pieces. Some people like the new pieces, some people hate it. I've heard mixed reviews. I personally think it adds a new challenge to the game and adds a new fresh twist on the already classic Tetris. One thing I personally find interesting about this game is that it's a Russian game with American characters made by Japanese people. So, kind of a fresh take. Very interesting and unique game in my opinion. Also, another interesting fact, this game runs on the arcade version of the Nintendo 64, called the Alec 64. Not very many games were released on that hardware, but I think that what it really shines at is 2D sprite animation. As you all know, the Nintendo 64 had a lot of excellent games on it, but 3D polygons were not its greatest strong point. Some pieces here. There's my magic again. And as you see, the magic meter moves higher. So now I have to get up to that line before I can use magic again. Oh, and also, I'm not choosing when to use magic. It goes off on its own once that line fills. Sometimes you can kind of use that to your advantage, maybe build your pieces up, create a little bit of clutter right before you use it. Other times, like I mentioned before, it'll just fire off at the most inopportune time. But it makes for interesting gameplay. There's been times where I've almost failed and it's come and cleared my path and I've come right back to beat the computer or another human opponent. You can play two-player mode in this game, as you saw earlier on the select screen. Can't play as the same character, though. Both people have to be separate characters. There's that blue piece again. And again. And a third time. Here's where you can really get screwed over. Didn't mean to place that there. Don't know if I'm going to be able to save myself from this one. We'll see. As I said, not exactly a Tetris connoisseur. And I'm dead. But, as being on free play, I just hit start to continue. Give it another stab here. It's very strange. Sometimes I'll play this game and do excellent, get all the way up right before peak without failing. Other times I'll start this game up and do poor or marginal. I really just need to practice at it. I got this game not too long ago, brand new, still in package, it's never been used before. Been sitting on a shelf since 1996. I was very excited to get a game in new condition. Circuit board all shiny, clear of dust. But definitely, if I find a candy cabinet, this will be the game to go in it. One other important thing to note as well, I believe I have a comment posted on my page in regards to this. Any video you see on my webpage will be real arcade hardware, never emulation. I mean, why settle for emulation when you can play on the real thing? It's just not the same. Some of you may argue that fact, but I don't care. Real arcade hardware for me. We'll see here. I'm sure many people watching this could probably show me up in this game, but I still enjoyed it. It's fun. Okay. Let's see here. Who knows? Maybe when I get better, I can post another review a couple years from now. Don't plan on ending this anytime soon, so. Oh, that's gonna be hard. See that little piece that's coming up, and another one. And I'm dead again. Go go ahead and let it end here. And do I get a high score ranking? I don't. Well, anyway, that's all for my review at the moment. Look forward to more reviews on my channel, and as always, please remember to subscribe. The more subscribers I get, the more inclined I'll be to make more videos. Thank you very much. Hello, YouTube. Follow me.
You should do that, for real. I think that would be awesome if you really did.